All right, fam. So, what you're looking at right now, this is the U.S. Wildlife Activity Public Information Map. This is the U.S. Wildlife Activity Public Information Map. Um, and it's just what it says. This is for the public. You can pull this up and view it for yourself. Um, and in one of my previous posts, told you I was going to make a video kind of showing you guys the visuals of what I was speaking of. Typically I would put all this together and then put it out to you in one package. But I just want to get I had some information I had to get out to everybody. But anyway, this is the visual. So you're looking at the United States here, and right off, what you see in the western half of the United States, fires everywhere. You got fires. Let me just click on one right here. It's so many. This is one of 22 fires. This is 62 fires located. This looks like this is somewhere. Where the hell is this? On the border of Idaho. On the border of Idaho and looks like on the border of Idaho and Seattle. You got a lot going on in Portland. And you can click on these and view yourself. Some of these are contained. You'll see, like right here, this is 50% contained. This one right here hasn't been contained at all. Look at this. It's almost 4,000 acres, and it's 0% contained. So this is all information. This is all information at your fingertips that you can view to see what's actually going on out here. Maybe if you're trying to travel, you know what I mean, or you're trying to go to certain areas, you can know that these type of things or these fires are going on everywhere, and it's rarely being touched. But it's something else I wanted to show you. It was rather interesting to me. If you take this and let's zoom in a bit. And once you zoom in, you'll start to notice these red dots everywhere. And you can see by the look, and I'm gonna come back to DFW. But as you can see, they're everywhere, all over the United States. So let's take a look at one. Let's go to Dallas here, and they change. So if you look at this, a couple days ago, there was some right out here outside of Dallas in Fort Worth. But let's click on it. It's saying this is a MODIS hotspot. Somewhere within 1 kilometer of this location has been identified as hot by satellite sensors. This could be a wildfire, and this system is monitored by firefighting agencies for early warning. So now when I went into this a little bit deeper because it was a little vague, and you can go into this also, but it's basically stating that, it's either a fire or some type of anomaly. It's basically, they have these satellites in space, they can pick up heat signatures and hot spots all over, practically anywhere. So it's just interesting that you see so many across our nation. So is this saying it's a potential fire everywhere in the nation? Some things to think about. Look, way down here in Houston, right? This is right on the coastline. Do we have fires burning out there? Where's this hot spot? And and like I shared on one of the posts, I've called, I've researched that kind of thing, sent emails, but haven't got a response specifically to advise what the hell these are. And they change all the time. You know what I'm saying? They change daily. And we can go down to, even down here in Mexico, We can see them all around in the Gulf. You can see them practically everywhere. We out here in South America, and you see them too. So you see them everywhere. In fact, they're more prevalent down here. Look at this. Look at this, folks. Look at that. Everywhere. What are these? Are these all fires? Potential fires? All hot spots? Look at this. All over South America. You know, I mean, we can keep going and going, and I'm sure it's everywhere, but I just want to highlight this to you, family, because, you know, a lot of times we get caught up, you know, into everything that's going on, all the propaganda on the news, all the entertainment. But this is just another look to show you what's going on in the country you live in and what's happening. So, again, the big question is, what are all of these red dots? Are all of these potential fires? Are all of these hot spots? What's going on? So I challenge you and encourage you to view this. You know, take some time, out your day, maybe once a week. You know, to take a look at this information, especially if you travel. Especially if you travel and you plan to drive out, you know, and that kind of thing. Travel with your family. I mean, it's really good to know what's going on. And these are just so many fires, folks. So many fires. And it's like, do you have firefighters to fight all of these damn fires? You can see the fires that are going on. So I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on it. You know, this is what I do. But I challenge you guys to take a look at this as well. And I'll continue to send you updates, my folks. But interesting times, interesting times. Okay, family, what you're looking at right now is Ventu Sky. And I'll talk to you guys, talk to y'all about this map. You know what I mean? Let me back out a bit. So Ventu Sky, guys, is something that everyone you know, should have at their access, and everyone should definitely, you know, be checking this out. But if you don't feel like it, don't worry. That's what you got me here for. But at any rate, this is a weather map, and as you can see, this is pretty much showing the entire planet, but they have it, you know, on a flat scale. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of see what's going on. And right now I just have it, as you can see over here to the left, and you can pull this up and kind of, you know, fool around with it. But right now I just have the wind speed highlighted, because I was taking a look at these hurricanes, and, you know, we'll take a look. But right off, I mean, you can just look, you know, in the southern hemisphere of the planet, just look at all of this chaos in the waters. And maybe it's always like this, you know what I mean? But you got all kind of cyclonic graphic or tendencies, you know, as you look here. You know what I'm saying? So just right off, you can see we got cyclones and or potential hurricanes over here in Manila. We can see Jose right here. And let's just zoom in a bit more, because I want to talk to you guys a bit about this thing here. Let's kind of zoom into the US. So down here, this is cool because you can kind of play with the dates. You can go like, I think like 7 to 10 days out or what have you. And it'll give you a scope, you know, of what's going on around you in the world. Because again, You know, if you're waiting on the news or CNN to give you this, it's going to be last minute. You know what I'm saying? Or you might not even get it at all. You know, or you might just get part of the truth and not the whole truth. But at any rate, so what we're looking at right now, this is Jose. Nobody's really talking about. You know what I'm saying? And outside of Jose, we really don't see too much happening. And this is as of today. So let's shoot it over to Saturday, 2 days from now. So now, in 2 days, on the 16th, we see a couple things. You know, right here, you see Hurricane Jose, right? Looks like it's moving a little bit closer to the east coast of America, right? And then what we also see here, we see some type of formation, potential cyclone or potential hurricane right here looks like off the coast of Mexico. And then if you can look back, looks like another, right, is potentially swarming. You know what I'm saying? And then if we look a little bit off the coast of Africa right here, we got another little something that could be something. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at the 17th. Now on the 17th, you can see this has a little bit more definition to them, especially Jose. Jose appears to be bigger. You know what I mean? I don't know how strong it could be. I know right around this area the water's more cooler, but you know, there is a Gulf Stream that runs somewhere around up into this location, right? So we have this happening. Now keep in mind, all of this area right here, all of this chain of islands, all your U.S. Virgin Islands, you know, Cuba, Puerto Rico, all that stuff is, you know, right around in here. And you know, Irma just came through and devastated most of the Caribbean, and then did damage most certainly to Florida. And right before that, we knew about Irma. I mean, I'm sorry, we knew about Harvey that just practically dumped the ocean in Houston. So billions, maybe trillions of dollars in damage and repair and all that kind of thing, you know, combined. And as you begin to see more of these storms, you know, approach and develop, you know, pretty soon people are going to be asking what's going on. You know, so before I go there, let me let's play with this a little bit more. So let's go to Tuesday the 19th. I'm sorry. So on the 18th, this bad boy looks like it intensified some. You know, as you can see here, I zoomed in a little bit. So it looks like it's most certainly intensified and right off the coast, or not far from North Carolina, South Carolina, you know, those areas. So if we go one more day, hold on, I zoomed in a little bit too much. So if we go in, let me get back to New York. So if we go in one more day to the 19th, we go one more day to the 19th, we see this bad boy or the outlier winds hitting this coastline. New York. We see this. And the surrounding areas. It doesn't look like it's a direct hit, but most certainly being impacted by the winds. And if we go to the 20th, one more day in, we see it looks like it's moving out a bit, you know, up to the north. You know what I'm saying? And then on the 21st, looks like it's around the 21st looks like it's out of here. And this is scary shit. This is scary shit, folks, because, and then right out here, right around the time we get done with this scare, or whatever this is going to do, you got another hurricane appearing right here, fat as day, approaching the Santo Domingo. That's the little Haiti around this area. It's like Puerto Rico right here. So it's just a lot of strange things happening, you know. And even if this monster, and again, you know, we don't know. When you deal with hurricanes, you don't necessarily know the path. And this is just a model. This is a model highlighting what possibly could happen. Now, again, we'll go back to today's the 14th. It's right out here, a little bit insignificant. But you've seen how from the 14th through the 18th, how this bad boy has increased in intensity and is moving a little bit closer up to the coastline of New York. You know what I'm saying? That can be a problem. That can be a problem. So I imagine you start hearing about Jose a little bit more this week. I imagine you start hearing a little bit more regarding this hurricane in particular. And perhaps, you know, they're not talking about it because they don't want to spread panic, but this will most certainly be panic. If another hurricane hits our coast, you know, another one more, two more, three more, you know, folks are going to start asking what's going on and what's happening, you know. So this is what we got going on. Another potential hurricane potentially impacting the United States. And we're just getting into hurricane season, folks. We got the rest of this month, we got October, and then we got the I think till the middle of November is when it wraps up. So just a lot of things happening, folks. A lot of things between these fires, these hot spots, these hurricanes, these earthquakes, a lot of things happening. So we just need to be vigilant about everything that's going on and make sure that we are prepared and make sure, you know, we stay abreast, you know, to what's happening and what's going on. So again, I'll keep you guys posted. I'll be bringing you more information in reference to this, you know, especially, you know, if it changes or if it intensifies. So, you know, keep your eyes peeled to the channel, the Frequency Radio on YouTube also. And we have the Frequency 7, you know, as a group in the Frequency Radio. So make sure you check us out. Make sure you check us out. You know, check the page. I'll be posting a video. I'll possibly be posting this video with some other information on it a little bit later today. So you guys, to be aware is to be alive, you know. So stay woke out there. Peace. All right, fam. So what you're looking at right now, this is the NavGem model. This is the Navy model. This is, you know, one of the models I like to, I preferably, you know, like to look at because it's the most accurate, you know. And of course, when you're dealing with the Navy, you know, we're looking at technology that most folks or most entities or most groups don't have. You know, in fact, you know, our technology is more than likely, or I've read several places that the technology is basically what you see on TV. This is just a scratch on the surface. I mean, technology is, you know, 40, 50 years advanced than what's being shown. But at any rate, as the previous models that you viewed, I wanted to, the previous models that you viewed previously, I wanted you to take a look at this one also as well, because this track and this model you're not going to see anywhere else. In fact, well, what's funny, most of the time, when they track hurricanes and storms, how they have the spaghetti models, and they have, different, reporting groups tracking the storms. NavGem is always one of them. But for Jose, for some reason, they don't have, they're not posting the NavGem spaghetti model, which I thought was strange. And then no one else is talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know all the New York weather channels, but there's several that come on television here in the Metroplex. It pretty much gives like Good Morning America. They'll give a outlook on the entire U.S. and they didn't say anything. They didn't say anything about Hurricane Jose. You know what I mean? So what you're looking at right now is Hurricane Jose, right? And this is tomorrow around 5 p.m. Now I showed this in some of the other clips, right? But none necessarily as detailed as this one in this particular order that you're about to see. So at any rate, this is at Friday, 5 p.m. Today's Thursday. So this is tomorrow, Friday, 5 p.m. Sorry, 1 second. So this will be, today's the 14th. So this will be tomorrow, 15th, what you're looking at 5 p.m. Hurricane Jose, because right now, it is a hurricane, Category 1, right now. You can see it still in the Atlantic, obviously in the Atlantic right here, not too far from the east coast of our country. So let's take it another step forward. And this is Saturday, 2 a.m. Not much change here. Now I will say that I have heard the weather guys on CNN, they kind of mention Jose because they have to. You see it when they pull up their maps and they mention it. But what they're saying is that this is what it's going to do, and then it's going to kind of pull on up further into the Atlantic, on off into limbo, out of harm's way in terms of the U.S. So that's what they're saying, and that was that, and they never went back to it. But again, we hear Saturday, 2 a.m., not much change from Friday. But then it looks like it makes a switch. Instead of taking that northeastern route, like everyone's saying, it looks like it's pulling back west, northwest, right? Now, this is 10 a.m. Saturday. Now, I would imagine around this time this week, Saturday, maybe tomorrow, they're going to have to be talking about this bad boy. They're going to have to. But let's continue. So that's Saturday at 6, Sunday, 3 a.m. Here is Sunday at 11 a.m. And at this point, if you live on the coastline here, North Carolina, South Carolina, you might start, you might can get some winds, right? This can impact the coastlines, folks out on boats, that kind of thing, waves. Most certainly at this point, this could be the beginning of a problem. So let's go a little bit further. This is Sunday at 8, right? And we moving on up. Monday at 4 a.m. Monday at 12 p.m. And this bad boy is right off the coast. This is right off the coast approaching New York. This is 9 p.m. Monday, and it's closer, right? Tuesday. Now, at 5 a.m., I'm pretty sure all the alarms and everything are going off because you remember how Sandy, the winds wasn't that bad, but it pretty much flooded all the subways and all of that kind of thing in New York and other damage. And we can be looking at a similar situation right here Tuesday next week at 5 a.m. I'm not too sure what the category is at this particular point, but this is showing a hurricane, right? You know what I mean? This, not sure how far this is, but this is very, very close. And also what you're dealing with, a lot of times, this can be the most dangerous type of hurricane, right? Because it's staying right in the Gulf Stream is, not far. So it's staying on water and it's not really coming on land. So it's like 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the water. So you're getting those impacts, you know what I mean? And it can continue to churn because it has that water as a source. I mean, could this turn into a damn Hurricane Harvey event in New York? I sure hope not. Let's see if we can go further. So Tuesday, 2 p.m., this is practically making landfall. Tuesday at 10 p.m. is hitting landfall in New York City. And nobody's talking about this. Nobody's talking about it. Right? Direct landfall, Wednesday, 3 p.m. And it looks like it's still hanging out, folks. So we could have another potential situation on our hands. Another serious situation on our hands, another hurricane incoming and impacting the East Coast of America, looks like New York City. So if you have family in New York City or anywhere around these surrounding areas on the coastline in New York, share this video with them. Share this video. You know what I'm saying? Share this video, at least, have them look at, the models I have referenced so they can take a look at these things themselves, fam, because this can get very, very nasty really, really quick. And if you look, not really showing here, but, off the coast of Africa, it's like a damn fire cannon. I mean, I'm going to show in another model where, you got hurricanes just blowing off the coast. Just coming off, potential hurricanes coming off Africa. And I mean, of course, this is a long span and a lot of things can change. And even this can change. But this is interesting, folks. This is very, very interesting. So, again, if you have family out there, if you had a ways and means, I would just get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? I just would, or move further inland, what have you, or make provisions. Try to make provisions now. Start buying water now. Start buying your canned goods now. You know what I'm saying? Start having those vital supplies ready. You know what I'm saying? Just have them on deck just in case, because we can be potentially looking at 3 hurricanes, pretty much impacting the United States, all relatively in close range, in terms of dates. So, I'm gonna research this a little bit more. I'm gonna do some more investigating and post accordingly. But yeah, guys, it can really get really serious really quick. I mean, it's already serious. We got drama happening all on the southern side, right? Gulf Coast with Harvey. You got Florida and some of the surrounding areas with Irma. Now we got Jose. Would that be impacting New York? They said Harvey alone is 150 billion. I'm not too sure. I think they're still assessing damage in Florida. So if this is true, before they can even finish assessing the damage in Florida, and while Harvey is in the Harvey, folks that were impacted by Harvey, they're just getting the rebuild process started, right? You still assessing damage in Florida, and up here on the east, or rather the west side, basically the whole Florida. And now you got this happening, Jose. Interesting times, folks. Interesting times. You know what I'm saying? Because we can be in for some problems. we can be in for some problems. So share this video. Share this video. Stay tuned. And I will be posting some more information. I'm just looking at an email now. But at any rate, folks, check this video out. Share it with your loved one. We could potentially have another issue, another hurricane on the East Coast, specifically, New York area. This could just be disastrous. So at any rate, this is your boy, Mr. Rico C, host of the Frequency Radio. I will be getting back with you guys in a little bit. Peace. All right, fam. So what we're looking at here on the National Hurricane Center, this is the Central Pacific look, right, or the Central Pacific view right here. Of course, you see Texas right here, California be out there. Here's the Gulf of California. This is that Mexican Peninsula. This is where, Cabo San Lucas is right here, and the rest of Mexico. And again, I want to point this out. Now, this is on the other side. Now, I showed you Jose. I'm going to show you another view. Also, it's going to give you the Atlantic view of the other. It's a couple of other storms. It's, I believe, one or two more potential hurricanes out there in the Atlantic outside of Jose. I'm going to show you after this. But I just wanted to show you. I just want to show you these. They're not talking. They're really not talking about these either. This was updated. This was as of 7:30 a.m. Pacific time today. See a date right here. So out here, if you're on the West Coast, right, or if you're in, better yet, if you're in Mexico, you're preparing for Hurricane Max. Yeah, this is a hurricane already. Hurricane Max. It's Category 1, right? Then you got another one, right? This is Hurricane Norma. Hurricane Norma. This is another Category 1. And this right here is a tropical depression that can potentially turn into, if the conditions are right, which they should, the water is, a little bit warmer over here in the Pacific, but these typically turn into hurricanes, right? And then this right here, this is another disturbance. This is what they're called before they turn into the actual tropical depressions. Here is two more. So you most certainly got one hurricane out here that's about to hit Mexico, Hurricane Max. You got another that's potentially going to turn into a hurricane. You know what I'm saying? It's going to potentially turn into a hurricane right here, and they're showing you the direction. They're coming, right? And then you got these out here. So you got one hurricane. You got potentially 3-4 more storms that can turn into hurricanes, and we right at just at the peak of hurricane season, fam. So it's a lot of things happening right now. Really, really strange. I just showed you Jose. Right? But this is very, very strange with some of the things we're seeing here. And I'm gonna watch it a little bit closely, but I wanted to throw this in as well so you can see the gravity of what's going on and what's taking place right now. And don't forget, up north here in California, practically the whole west side of the United States is burning up. So again, if you got people out here, out in the Mexico area, you know what I'm saying, they're not aware of these kind of things, just let them know. Share this video with them. Share this video, and show them how to get to this National Hurricane Center so they can view these things and make the proper preparations. Because shit, they just got hit with an 8.4 earthquake. Now you got a hurricane coming on shore. You got another potential, and then you got three more that could all be potential hurricanes. So it's just like we're getting gunned from both sides. You know what I'm saying? So to be aware is to be alive, folks. Just make sure, you know what I mean? Stay prepared. Stay prepared. Be aware. Stay tuning in at the Frequency Radio. Peace. Okay, so what you're looking at right now, this is the Atlantic, outlook on the or they might call this the Central Atlantic, maybe, but this is the Atlantic view at the National Hurricane Center. And in the previous clip or the previous snapshot, I showed you what was going on in the Pacific. That's more on the west coast of America. I was showing you about three or four potential hurricanes, one being a hurricane already, Hurricane Emma. And now we're back over here at back in the Atlantic, showing you Jose. This is not a hurricane yet. This is a tropical. I'm sorry. This is a tropical storm, what they want to call. But it typically turns into a hurricane after this. I think Hurricane Category 1 winds start at 80 miles per hour. I'm not for sure, or 90. You can see right here, this one is at 70 miles per hour and moving slow with the west northwest at 7 miles per hour. So we got a northwest action, kind of relatively saying what the NavGem model was showing you, that and a couple of other that I was showing you a couple of minutes ago, right? So now you got Jose, which is about to turn into a hurricane. Now, outside of Jose and what I was telling you about earlier, these are two more potentials, off of the coast of Africa. And I'm telling you, Africa, we're firing these hurricanes, off. A lot of warmth. You got desert over here, a lot of warm water around here, and these storms are just flowing. So now, disturbance 2. It has a 30% chance of cyclone formation in 2 days. Right? So in a couple days, this can turn into one of those cyclones, or basically a depression, or a storm, rather. They're all stages before they get into, the whole hurricane deal. But at any rate, just to show you, we got 3, happening right now. There's 3 or 4 on the other side, right? Now, again, this is early, and we don't know what's going to make, these two. It could be something or nothing. But I have a bad feeling about Jose. I have a very, very bad feeling about Jose. I believe this will turn into a hurricane. Now, if it's going to hit New York or the East Coast directly, I'm not sure. But it's most certainly going to turn into a hurricane. And I'm kind of leaning towards the NavGem models, that are being shown. So this could just be disastrous, again, folks. But this is just another view that I wanted to show you so you can see these other, about Jose, but mainly these other 2 disturbances. They can turn into hurricanes. They can just create havoc. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll have to watch both of these. I'll keep watching all of this information and bring it to you. But I tell you, fam, if you haven't been prepared before, this is most certainly the time you want to try to get prepared, and put up the bare necessities just in case. So I'll keep watching this, and I might do another post in another couple days just to show you the progress and what's going on specifically for Jose, because these two are, they're way too far out to, find out what's going to happen. And they are very, very close to each other. You know, could these bad boys merge? Could these two merge? Could Jose slow down? And we got looking at a merger, you know, of your three storms. Who knows? Who knows at this particular point? But anyway, folks, stay tuned to the Frequency Radio. And I am Mr. Rico C. And I will be getting with you all again shortly. Peace. Be good.